G'day everyone, welcome to the Bothy. I'm Chris.
G'day, I'm Al.
So on the 28th of July 2025, mate, which feels like forever ago, we said this.
Beer excise last year raised more revenue than the taxes paid by Chevron, Exxon, Woodside and Shell combined.
And we also said this.
Petroleum Resource Rental Tax, or the PRT as it's referred to, was lower than the income tax raised from school teachers, lower than the HEX repayments made by students. Vehicle registrations contributed more revenue than taxes paid by all the gas companies combined.
There's no words, mate.
Now, we understand that we are just a itty-bitty, teeny-weeny channel, mate, that doesn't have a lot of following.
Yep.
And the YouTube algorithm doesn't push us out to mass audience, and that's all okay. So it doesn't get much of spread. But this topic has gone viral this week. In fact, one video got 8 million views on this topic in Australia. Man. Thanks to that altercation with Egghead in the Senate hearing inquiry.
Just when you think someone can't sound as dumb as
us. There you go.
Yeah, and then that guy speaks.
Would it be accurate to say that the tax on offshore gas exports, PRT, is still giving us less revenue than the tax on beer?
Have a look. Just bear with me a second. In 25-26 in my info, taxes on beer, we're expecting 2.7 billion. Taxes from PRT, 1.5. So yes, it's lower than.
How do we live in a country, one of the biggest gas exporters in the world, and we're getting more tax from beer than PRT? Maybe it's not for the minister. This is it's a political decision.
Not really an opinion. Well, we've made changes to the PRT that we got through the Parliament. Other areas of tax reform for us right now, the priority is delivering on our election commitments and including the bill that the Treasurer introduced today.
Is that the weakest answer you have ever heard in the Senate inquiries, mate?
It seems to be the go-to answer for all the Labour Party at the moment, isn't it?
We're focusing on our election promises. What about running the country? Isn't that an election promise?
Even if you're like a hardline Labour guy, you're going to be going,
What is going on?
He was going along with it until he said that.
Exactly right.
Jeez.
So how about focusing on what's best for Australia and raise the goddamn PRT tax revenue, eh? So let's talk through the two issues that we've got. We've got beer is really expensive and providing a lot of tax, and we've got gas isn't providing the sort of tax revenue that it should be.
No, certainly not.
Let's tackle beer first because that's close to our heart.
Okay.
Labor promised to freeze the excise for 2 years heading into the last election, and Liberal matched it.
Mm-hmm.
But as usual, mate, there were conditions.
There's always conditions.
The freeze applied only to beer poured from a tap into a glass while in a pub. So if you walk into a pub and you get a Corona or a Melbourne Stubby or whatever,
anything out of a bottle or a can,
you're paying the excise that's still going up twice a year. Yep, it's just gone up. If you purchase from a bottle shop, the excise applies. If you purchase from a microbrewery, the excise also applies because they're not considered a pub, mate.
So even if you get a glass of beer, it poured and put in a glass, it's like still
charged,
even if it's draft.
Yep, because microbreweries are not.
Loopholes everywhere.
Yeah, not recognised as a pub, I'm trying to say. It's from draft beer only, which means it's poured from a tap. So anything on a tap does get no excise. So
except if it's a microbrewery.
Unless we're a microbrewery. And of course, it just went up another 1.9% in this month.
Why don't they just call it 2%?
No.
Come on.
Exactly right. So the devil's in the detail as usual, mate, right? They always get us somehow. But what does that actually mean to our hip pocket? How much of a slab is tax? I'm going to use Australia's number one selling beer. I can't believe this is Australia's number one selling beer, but anyway.
Hit me with it.
Great Northern Super Crisp. I don't think I've ever had one.
Oh, I think I had one with Terry.
Right.
Yeah, but I think he bought them by mistake.
Yeah, he must have. Well, a lot of people seem to be doing that because it's number one selling beer. This costs $54.95 for a slab of 24 at the Right Honourable Real Dan's.
The real, yeah.
The Real Dan's. Yeah. Excise on this slab, approximately $20.08.
$20 on that one slab for $54.
Yep. We say approximately because if it was charged at the actual rate of raw alcohol, it would actually be higher than that. However, somehow, somewhere, we are assured that a discount applies. And then there's GST, mate. So tax on this slab runs to around $25.
$25.
About 45%.
That is just... That would be one of the highest in the world, wouldn't it?
Fourth.
Fourth highest? It's higher?
Yeah.
Wow.
But this is a mid-strength beer, right?
Yeah.
3.5%. What about a slab of VB? Full strength beer. Retails for $60.99, although at the moment you can get it on special at Dan's for $54. So bulk up, buy as many as you can if you drink that swill. Excise on this slab, $22.48. But again, it's muddy. Excise on raw alcohol would actually work out to be about $27. But they assure us that a discount applies. I don't know why or how, but they will not tell you what the actual excise is on a slab.
So no
transparency.
That's right. And then there's GST. So in all, it's about $28.50 in tax on that $60.99. So it's up there again, mate.
So it's another, what's that,
47, 48%, something crazy.
Oh.
Whichever way you skin it, tax on beer in stubbies or cans is now somewhere between 42 and 49% of the cost of the slab to the consumer.
That is ridiculous.
Nearly half, mate.
I didn't realise it was that high. I thought it was 30-something.
More than half your smokes money, more than half your beer money, and more than half if you buy a new house that no one can afford to buy.
All tax to the hill.
Yeah, exactly right. There are three main reasons, according to the federal government, why the alcohol excise is so high in Australia, and they name those three reasons.
Right, okay.
The first is to discourage excessive consumption.
Okay.
The second is to reduce alcohol-related harm.
Oh, they've got our best interests at heart.
The third is to generate significant government revenue.
Tick. That's the main one.
Move 3 up to 1.
Yep.
And we know
where right. Yeah.
It's referred to as the sin tax and is indexed to go up every 6 months in line with CPI, which is why it just went up 1.9%. So which is it? Are beer taxes too high, or is the petroleum resource rent tax, the PRRT, too low? Or is it both?
Yeah, well, I think it's just a wee bit too low.
Yeah, well, absolutely. The PRRT is 40% tax on the profits derived from selling oil, gas and LPG sourced in Australia or Australian waters.
So they get that every year?
40%.
Every year?
Pretty good.
That's good, 40%.
Excellent. But hang on.
The devil's in the detail?
The devil is in the detail.
Okay.
It's not quite that simple, mate. That 40% tax is deemed a super profits tax.
All right, so it's different from normal tax then.
Exactly right. I hear you asking, what is that? I didn't know. Well, buckle up, mate, because he's going to make you mad. This particular super profits tax applies to the net economic rent of petroleum projects. It applies only to profits that exceed a specific threshold rate of return, rather than being applied to straight revenue. I'm already talking gobbledygook. It only becomes payable after a project has recovered all of its capital, covered all of its operating and all of its exploration costs. Then we can start collecting the tax.
You're kidding me.
And everybody knows you can put all sorts of things into your P&L to make those higher and have a little break even.
So to be fair, that 40% isn't really 40%, is it?
It's far, far, far less. I would suggest it would have to be less than 5%. Should work it out.
That's pathetic.
The tax is described as too low and too easily avoided due to its complex design. We've just listened to that.
Yep.
Gobbledygook, and we agree. So beer tax this financial year will be $2.7 billion.
Yep.
Gas tax, $1.5 billion.
That is pathetic.
Again, though, that's not the full story, mate. Mining and energy companies pay other taxes that total around $75 billion a year. So that's a lot of tax, right? It includes more than $30 billion paid in royalties to state governments, not to the federal government. Hand in the pocket.
State governments.
Which state wanted to?
Well, that makes sense now why they want to start fracking and looking for more gas. And
in Victoria.
Yeah.
And another state wanted to leave us altogether.
Jeez.
Dig a giant sea between Western Australia.
All makes complete sense now, doesn't it?
Exactly right. Mining companies also pay $42 billion a year in corporate income tax. What I wonder, mate, is when we're no longer mining because that's dirty and we're relying purely on renewable energy, are we going to charge for the wind and solar to make up that?
Well, don't you think it'll do the same thing as what they've done with, or doing? I'm not sure, with the battery cars, the electric cars.
Yeah.
They're putting an excise on that to make up for the downfall, the fact that they're not paying any tax on the fuel anymore.
Yeah.
So stands to reason they've got to get from somewhere. So who's going to get hit with it?
The problem with that, though, mate, is before that happens, someone's got to buy an electric car.
Yeah, they're not buying them. Are they?
No, not buying them at all.
Yeah. Well, they are, but not
in anywhere near the number.
Not for the amount that they thought they were going to be buying them.
Chris Bowen said that by 2030, more than 50% of cars on the road will be electric.
I don't think so.
You've commented on this before. People are putting off buying new cars, mate.
Yeah.
They're better off holding on to the one they've got.
Yep.
Yeah, because
definitely.
You don't want an electric vehicle. At some point down the track, we're going to be forced. You know that.
Yeah, because they'll only be selling electric vehicles.
Or the alternative will be so expensive. You watch, they'll put an extra charge on petrol or something to make that.
Yeah, to stuff people up. Yeah, for sure.
One of our mates, Justin from Short Straw, he put a little short out today.
Guys, can someone explain to me how this 7-Eleven unleaded petrol is $1.49.9? And just a couple of suburbs away, this Shell is at $2.13. That's what? 60 cents more than the other. And it's been like this for days. Can somebody explain to me what's going on there?
Work that out.
That's insane, isn't
it? It is. 70 cents difference, mate. It's absolutely nuts. So anyway you cut it, we're collecting way too much tax on beer and we're subsidising the PRRT, this tax on gas.
On gas.
Yep. We should lower that threshold, that super tax, to be making sure they are paying tax. And then if we collected 10 billion from that a year or 5 billion from that a year, we wouldn't have to be charging crazy money on beer.
I know. The cigarettes could come down. The
housing tax could come down.
Housing tax, yes.
Because they can talk about all the negative gearing and capital gains tax in the world. If the government reduced their proportion of tax, which is in some states running at 50%, if that came back to 30%, houses would drop by 10%.
Yep. And then it would be slightly more affordable.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right. Let us know what you think, everybody. Beer tax too high, gas tax too low. It's self-explanatory. But let us know what you think in the comments.
Cheers, guys.
See ya.